Hello everybody, I'm sorry I haven't made an update in a long time, but I've been going through a lot lately. Um, Early last month, um, they did a CAT scan and they found, well, the doctor stopped suddenly after counting 20 tumors with my liver. After a few more visits, uh, today I found out that it is stage 4. Um, I'm taking it, I think, pretty darn good. Um, I don't have nothing to compare it to, but I do have about 4 decades of serving Jesus Christ, the biblical Jesus Christ. I've done pretty extensive studying on it, inside and outside of the Bible. Um, and I think that's a rock solid foundation. Um, Anybody that knows me and you know knows that I'm a challenging person to be with. I do have ADHD, and one thing about stage 4 and ADHD is it really helps you to focus. Uh, One thing that I found with being ADHD, diagnosed several times, every time I get insurance, I try to get coverage. I try to get treatment for it. And I've had at least 3 diagnoses. I have one written diagnosis, and with the last time that I had health insurance, hoping that I could find just a physician that would prescribe it to me, and it's a lot cheaper that way in the long run. But anyway, long story short, um, they were hesitant to give it a stage because they didn't know where it originated. I thought at first it originated on a tumor that's on my adrenal gland that I've been trying for years to get rid of. Um, and when the cancer center called me after the CAT scan, I thought it was to try to get that tumor taken away because the tumors by themselves, I don't think are usually any problem whatsoever unless they start to turn cancerous. And when I got first diagnosed with that tumor on my adrenal gland, uh, he told me that I just have to get tested every couple of years to make sure it's not cancerous. Um, and so I was really excited because they believe that's the reason why I've been morbidly obese all my life. Maximum weight of 640 pounds. I got a fat surgery, and then I had a life-changing experience where I broke my right knee. I fell on some ice, and the insurance didn't cover physical therapy. So I was completely on my own. And back then, I wasn't really that much into the internet, so I couldn't learn on YouTube or on the internet on how to learn how to walk all over again. But this time, I broke my femur about 7 months ago, and I've been in a nursing home ever since. One of the reasons why I'm not walking full time right now is because I am so morbidly obese. Even though I didn't gain all my weight back, like I was told that most patients that have the weight loss surgery, they gain all their weight back. I didn't. I only gained back maybe 100 pounds of that, and I lost about 250. And now I think I'm down to where I was when I broke my right knee, but I'm still so heavy that I still have trouble with endurance. I can walk. I can walk, a couple of football fields maybe, but it's painful. And um, today I couldn't believe how good I was walking. I just walked around the gym here in the nursing home, and I did really good. They even gave me a new exercise to do while I'm walking with just a straight cane, where I have a little, like, you remember the gym balls back in school? I, I bounced that up and down in my hand as I walked, and I was really surprised. I did actually better than I have in a long time, and that was right after I looked at the CAT scans where they found out where the tumors originated, what organ, and it looks like it's in my lymph nodes. Um, I was also told that they can remove those, but I have issues after that. But then I got to deal with the tumors that are in my liver, um, and there's no possibility of them getting them removed. It occupies too much of my liver, but we can shrink them down, and as long as they're not cancerous, I should be okay. I don't think that the ones in my liver are cancerous. All the blood work and all the scans are confusing to me. I get mixed results on the biomarkers that they use to determine how much cancer you have or what stage you are. But I was definitely told by the cancer center at Duke University that I am stage 4. The oncologist that I was seeing here in Fayetteville told me that he believed it was stage 5. Never knew there was a stage 5. I think it's just a strong theory that a lot of scientists and doctors have. Maybe it's just about liver cancer, I don't know. Maybe it's certain types of cancer. Um, but Duke said stage 4. So I am encouraged. Um, Regardless, I'm looking at it as a win-win situation. One, I might lose my battle with cancer, and I'm okay with that. Because quite honestly, my sister will confirm this if you asked her, I'm sure. For years now, 5 years ago, I dealt with a leg infection where I honestly thought they were going to take my leg um, because it was starting to turn black. And it was so swollen, it was unbearable. I dealt with that infection for 3 years and was diagnosed with staph, MRSA, and cellulitis all at the same time. Ever since I started going through that, I've started seeing so much more of biblical prophecy that I believe that we are living in the very last days, and we will, in this lifetime, see the second coming of Christ. And then I had a rollover accident about 2 years ago, and that was only God that allowed that to happen. He didn't make it happen, but he allowed it to happen so that I could go back up and emotionally heal from the rollover accident. Physically, I was okay. They kept me for, I think, a little bit under a month just to make sure, um, because they had to cut me out. You know, that they had to make extra double sure and everything else. But then I helped take care of my brother that also passed away, and I was his primary caregiver for the last few months of his life. And I actually watched him go. And from that point on, the first thing, I mean, almost immediately after I watched him go, I felt as if I was forever changed. And then when I got back down to Fayetteville, where I've lived down here for over a couple of decades now, I started feeling like God was calling me to be a martyr. Not a martyr like Islam, where you get virgins because you load up your van in fertilizer and you go and blow up a building. To me, a martyr for Christ, the biblical Christ, is one that just stands and says no. And we don't fight, we don't hurt. Uh, people might get hurt because they feel like we're in infringing on their rights. But other than that, there's nothing physical that happens in retaliation or anything like that. And so I feel that I'm prepared to die. I'm ready to die. I want to, like I said, ever since I dealt with my leg infection, I've been saying for years now that I'm ready to go. I prayed thy kingdom come like I never did before. And the whole purpose of me making this video is just to let you know how I feel. And I do need some help. I have been unemployed since I had my rollover accident. I haven't had any kind of cash assistance other than what my best friend would give me and my sister gave me for holidays and stuff. And so now that I'm in the nursing home and everything else, my plates and insurance expired on my minivan. And I've had serious troubles with getting to doctor's appointments. I can set an appointment sometimes for a couple days, in the future. And transportation for my insurance requires a 6-day notice. It's pretty aggravating. Then, and once I secure a doctor's appointment, if that transportation company cannot take me, then I have to call and reschedule another longer doctor's appointment, and then hope that transportation can come pick me up. It's been very aggravating, to say the least. And I have a friend that said that she would help me. Thanks, Catherine. If she's able to, with notice, she'll transport me. I'm sure she'll drive my van if need be. She would probably use her vehicle, but I don't want to impose on her like that. What I would like to do is ask my friends, especially my lifelong friends, if you could just pledge a little bit of money. A little bit from a lot of people adds up fast. And this is how it breaks down for me to get my plates and everything for my car. It's about $300 plus, I think it was 3% of the retail value of the van to get it transferred into North Carolina from Ohio. And my insurance is only $54 a month. Now, I am still trying to get better coverage, cheaper coverage. And then I'll probably need a little bit anyway to get me going for a while, for gas back and forth to the hospital. I don't like dealing with the local hospital cancer center here. The healthcare system here is really horrible. I mean, I've heard horror stories. You hear that from any hospital, but I actually took a real close friend of mine to the emergency room here, and in triage, I seen dried blood. I mean, I stared at that thing just to make sure it was dried blood. And you know how when blood dries, it kind of blotch dries? It's exactly what it looked like. In triage, that should never be. I'm sorry. The people in the hospital, the workers, are good. They really are, but they are overworked, and the patient ratio is just too high for this hospital. I've been in other hospitals. I mean, I had my fat surgery. I had my gallbladder taken out. I've been in hospitals before for my leg infection and such, in a different hospital. Matter of fact, the last time I had treatment for my leg, I was leaving. Excuse me, I'm on the porch outside of the facility. and it's kind of close to the main road. But anyway, I went to a hospital outside the county, and after I think it was only 3 days of taking antibiotics intravenously, even though I was in the hospital here in Cumberland County in Fayetteville uh, a couple of times, they couldn't get rid of it, and I was in wound care for 3 years, like I said. But when I went out of the county and got intravenous antibiotics and everything for 3 days, they cleared it right up. And as I left that hospital, I had the rollover accident. And so, I'm sorry, it's shift change here too, so the nurses and the aides are changing shifts. But anyway, I don't want to go very long with this, but I do know that I got a lot of friends, and a lot of friends that I've had since, grade school, growing up
How you doing, sir?
in the neighborhood. But just thought I'd throw it out at you, and hope to talk to you soon.